Yeah, okay, so this is gonna be weird. If you've been on the social media trend the past few days, you probably saw this tweet. No, not the tweet, the specific image in the tweet going around. This was posted onto Twitter multiple times. This was posted onto Reddit multiple times. You had a bunch of people tweeting this and replying to it. It was all over the place about a week ago. And I saw this, of course, because I'm always on these social media platforms too, and I was like, okay, we kind of have to make a video about that. The magnitude as to which everybody is talking about this kind of warrants a discussion on YouTube, so let's go out there and talk about Jack Eichel. Yup, we are bringing up Jack Eichel trade rumors once again, and this time it kind of goes back to the days when he was in the consistent rumor mill, when he was the guy who was going to get shipped off next. Now, before we go back in time and see where this actually came from, let's talk about why Jack Eichel and the Ottawa Senators were trending together the past few days. You had yourselves a Twitter user by the name of StevenSens18, and what he did was posted a very simple tweet that said this: bullet dodged. On the bullet dodged tweet, you had the image attached to it. Here's an update. Buffalo did ask for Jake Sanderson, and were told a hard no, that he would never be a part of any trade package. Hockey Twitter, Kevin Francis is the source. Now, this tweet by Steven was posted on August 29th, 2023, and because he posted it and because it got a whole bunch of hits, the graphic that is included in the tweet with the Eichel photoshopped in the Sens logo and the Jake Sanderson thing involved too, this was posted everywhere. So what I wanted to do was kind of verify this a little bit, just kind of search where in the world was there a trade rumor linking Eichel to the Senators, and Jake Sanderson being refused as being a part of the return there? Okay, I mean, I can respect the dedication, I can respect the authority that the Senators and Pierre Dorion would be asserting there. Okay, we're not going to trade Jake Sanderson away even if we're getting Jack Eichel in return. Okay, that's cool, but where did this come from specifically? Well, after reverse image searching a little bit and throwing up the old Google Wayback Machine, we had ourselves a tweet made by New Era Sens on August 30th, 2021. So literally 2 years ago. Take a look at this tweet made that includes the same graphic that we showed earlier. Per Kevin Francis of HockeyBuzz.com, Ottawa continue to do their due diligence as talks with Buffalo for Eichel continue. The offer reportedly stands at Eric Bronnstrom, Colin White, Ridley Gregg or Thompson, Parker Kelly, and the Sens 2022 first for Eichel. And then, of course, you have the graphic that says that the Sens were asked about Jake Sanderson, but they said no. And this is it. This is where the idea of Eichel getting traded to Ottawa comes from. It's HockeyBuzz.com. Now, if you've been paying attention to the channel lately, over the years even, and if you've been paying attention to a lot of what y'all are saying in the comments, you could probably gather the consensus idea that HockeyBuzz.com and their main guy, it's not really all too much of a reliable source. Now, of course, no disrespect to Kevin Francis, whomever that is, they're not even linked here on the tweet that this is pulled from. But this is an idea that does not really ring a bell in my mind. Like, of course, I'm not going to try to pretend like I'm some hockey god that knows everything about every trade rumor ever, but I feel like I was one of the guys on YouTube 2021-ish that was covering the Eichel stuff more than others. I was kind of making trade videos on everything that went down. Every rumor, every team, every proposal, every rejected idea, we made videos on all of them. But Ottawa never popped up once. Now, when it comes to the validity as to everything, okay, maybe I just missed this one. That's totally fine. Like, if I made a boo-boo and there really was a conversation going on 2 years ago saying, hey, Eichel could get traded to Ottawa, and I just didn't know about it, okay, cool. Like, I'm fine with admitting that I'm wrong. But this idea seems so out of pocket that it doesn't really click in my mind as to being something that was even plausible. Sure, the trade package, you could say, was there. Bronnstrom, White, Gregg, Kelly, I mean, some of these guys aren't even Senators anymore. Colin White is on Florida now. So when it comes to a lot of the assets involved, you could say this isn't really worth it. In fact, I think a lot of Buffalo Sabres fans would say it's not worth it because just the value of what Alex Tuch is to that team right now, post-Eichel trade, yeah, you can tell it's a really important deal to them. But I also, in this video, wanted to just go over the idea that the Ottawa Senators would reject a trade proposal involving Jake Sanderson, even if it meant getting Jack Eichel in the deal. Now, Sanderson, if we go over his profile, 21 years old, 6'2", 185, left-handed D signed to the end of 2024. On his ELC, he'll need an extension soon. 32 points in 77 Ottawa Senators games this previous year. He played his first season in the NHL. He looked really good. He's very mobile. He skates well, and he has such a good knack for playing the game and understanding what he needs to do that this guy could be a top-pairing defenseman soon. I think a lot of Ottawa Senators fans who had watched Sanderson last year are really starting to believe more so than ever before that, hey, this guy is the real deal. He is legit. And there's a reason the Ottawa Senators took him 5th overall in 2020. When it comes to just being an all-around guy who could do everything you need a top-pair guy to do, Sanderson fits the bill perfectly. Of course, maybe not right now, but as he gets older, you could definitely see that maturity start to seep into his decision-making and his offensive potency. Jake Sanderson is a good player, and I think a lot of Sens fans would say that he is. But back in 2021, he had 15 points, 22 games played. He was looking good. I definitely remember a lot of Sanderson from the NTDP in his early days with Nodak. He was good, but I really feel like most of the projection and development for Sanderson came in year 2, his sophomore NCAA season. Back in 2021, 2 years ago, if you would have told me, yeah, the Senators are refusing to trade away Sanderson for Eichel, I probably would have called you nuts. Like, maybe nowadays you could say, yeah, no, Sanderson for Eichel, you could make a very legitimate case on why keeping Sanderson would be the better move. But 2 years ago, I'm not too sure. Now, sure, you could say the Ottawa Senators, they kind of just know their prospects, they understand the value that they have, and that's why they would have said no 2 years ago. Totally fine, totally fair. If you were to say no back in 2021, yeah, I could totally understand why. It's just for me personally, watching Sanderson play, watching his development, I feel like the majority of his growth came in year 2. So nowadays, I probably would say, yeah, no, it's probably equal, but you could very well say that it's not worth it for either team to trade away Eichel or to trade away Sanderson. But it is kind of intriguing how 2 years ago, apparently, this might have been the move. Now, I saw a lot of people in today's Twitter, today's Reddit, responding to this idea, oh yeah, Sanderson for Eichel, it was rejected. I saw a lot of people saying, yeah, okay, that's a good rejected trade. Good job, Dorian, for not trading away Sanderson for Eichel. Good job for keeping this top-pairing defenseman of the future on this team. Of course, there weren't too many people going out there questioning the source, like we had done at the beginning part of this video. They were just talking about the trade idea, but in and of itself, it is kind of intriguing just highlighting this idea as a whole. A rejected proposal where Buffalo was asking for Sanderson and offering up Eichel in return, reportedly, and the Senators saying, nah, we're keeping our guy. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this trade idea? It may or may not be real depending on if you want to believe the source, but for my sanity, based off of my memory, I'm going to go out there and say I probably don't think this is real. But who knows? There were some people saying Elliot Friedman reportedly had some Ottawa Eichel talks going on. There are so many quotes from over the years that we don't really know what's real or what's not anymore, especially if you're looking at trade rumors from the past. But either way, thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this entire idea? Eichel for Sanderson, no go. There was also the idea of Bronstrom and White, Greg, Kelly, 2022 first, but that's so outrageously big and not worth it anymore that I don't think it's really worth it to talk about that trade idea anymore. But either way, thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.